Okay, I think I have everything. If you want to see my latest collab, get ready with me, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène with another video, and I'm really excited about this one because it's a collab, another collab on this channel. I'm so excited, and I'm especially excited because of the person I'm collabing with. Steph Lyons is a sweetheart. She is a fantastic person, love her to bits, and she is a YouTuber from Ireland. And we thought it would be fun, given I'm Canadian, she's Irish, that we could do a collab crossing the seas, so to speak, and we thought we'd make it really fun. We thought we'd make it fun in two ways, that we would do a get ready with me, actually three ways. We would do a get ready with me. We would ask each other 10 questions to get to know each other. And we would pick each other's makeup for the get ready with me. So Steph chose my makeup. I chose her makeup based on our makeup collection. If you are curious to see my makeup collection, I'll put it right here for you, just the playlist. It's in 5 or 6 parts. And anyway, she looked through my collection and then picked what I am going to try on, well, put on today. And some of the products that she picked, I have never used. So it's also a product discovery because a few things I just haven't gotten to, and that's going to be, yeah, interesting. So I really invite you to check out her channel. Here is her picture. And also to check out the video that she made of my picks for her get ready with me, and the thumbnail to that video is right there as well. Everything will also be in the description box, including everything that I've put on my face during this video. So if you want to see me get ready with Steph's selections while I answer Steph's questions, then let's just get to it. I'm really excited. Does it show? Let's get started. So the first product that she chose for me is this Mercier Flawless Finish Foundation. There we go. And it is a little bit deep for me, but I think it's going to be okay. Oh, and I was going to put a primer underneath, and I didn't remember a primer. So I'm going to use the Smashbox primer, Photofinish Foundation Primer in Light. That's what I'm going to use. So let's do the primer first and get to the Mercier foundation right after. I haven't used this primer in a long time, so it's a bit of a rediscovery. I don't even know how long it's been since I've used it. So let's start off with that so that the foundation has a fair chance. Just looking at the mirror right under the camera if you're wondering why I'm leaning. Okay, and as I'm putting on this foundation, I am going to start answering Steph's questions. Like I said, she gave me 10 questions. So the first question is, what part of Canada are you from? Where do you live? What is it like? Does everyone speak predominantly English or French? And why does this make your channel different? Quite a loaded question. Good job there, Steph, giving me a complex question right off the hop as I give myself some foundation here. Hopefully I didn't take too much. So here's how much I took. It's always hard to tell with foundations, and I apply with my fingers. If it bugs you, then too bad. Oh yeah, it's not quite, it's a deluxe sample. It's not quite my color, but we're gonna go with it. I feel I'm gonna look like a mannequin at the end of this, but it's all good. It's all in good fun. So I live in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, which is very close to the longitudinal center of North America. We're just a few dozen kilometers away from the center of North America, longitudinal this way. And it's, so meaning from coast to coast, we're pretty much right in the middle. So we're in the bullseye of North America, frankly. We are the bullseye. And that makes it really nice because we love to travel. And so everything in North America is pretty central to us. We've got a pretty good hub there to get to pretty much anywhere. I would say that, well, we live in a predominantly English-speaking province, And our province is the province of Manitoba, which is right in the middle, which makes sense because Winnipeg is right in the middle of Canada and extends right up to Hudson's Bay at the very top of our country. So we go from right above the US all the way up to the ocean up top. And the question about the language, our province is predominantly English speaking, but we are a bilingual province. And something that is not really known is we have the largest population of French speaking people outside of Quebec. So we have a very large group of French first language people in the West. And yeah, it's just not something that's well known. So I have French as my first language and I need to keep moving. So let's put some concealer on. And the concealer is this Super CC from Physicians Formula. It has a funky applicator, so it's obviously more so for under eye, but I will use it where I need to use it. I need to steal a mirror here, so I'm going to use my Tartiste Pro because otherwise you're going to see me ducking all the time. So I'm going to use this concealer. I've used it. It's been a long time since I've used it. So let's see if I can get some product. Ooh, lots of product out. Hang on. I need 2 hands for this apparently. Okay, so it's very liquidy. I'm not sure if it's mixing up properly. There's an applicator, but I'm not going to use that. Okay, so they're right there. Whoops, on my nose. Anybody who's ever done makeup on camera knows how challenging it can be, especially when I've got papers and I've got different things and just everything in my lap here. All right, so let's just pay attention to this, Hélène, for a second. Get your concealer done. So yeah, I did not speak English till I was about 7 and was not fluent until well into my 8th year. Despite, and I learned English because it's a predominantly English environment, so you basically learn it by osmosis. But I went to school all in French all my life until I got to university. So in university, I started taking classes completely in English. But yes, definitely French is my first language. And how does being in Winnipeg make me a different kind of YouTuber? I think that we're really down to earth. We just know that we're regular people. We live our lives. We try to have fun. The joie de vivre is definitely here, especially in the French community, which I know and love. And yeah, we will love to share a beer in front of a bonfire or go to the lake in the summer, and we just enjoy having fun. Okay, I think this looks pretty good. The next thing that Steph asked me to use is the Hourglass Veil Powder. And the first thing I'm going to do is set my under eye. And for that I have a little brush from Sephora. I'm going to do that right away. Very important not to use too much, otherwise it can get cakey. And usually the Hourglass Veil I only use for my under eye, but since it is a request from her that I use it as my setting powder, I am going to use it everywhere. So I used my small brush just to set my concealer, and now I'm going to go in with a big brush to finish up the rest of my face. And if you're not familiar with the Hourglass powder, do you see the H in the middle there? It just dispenses a smaller amount of powder, so you don't have powder everywhere. And the idea is that you have just enough powder to set your foundation and concealer. Wow, this Laura Mercier foundation, I don't know if you see it, it's really accenting my lines, and maybe it's because I let it dry too much before I put the powder on, but it's not very flattering. But it could be that it's because in part that I have the wrong shade. But I was thinking of lightening it up, I should say, but I think it's okay. So yeah, to finish answering question number 1 still from Steph, I think that living in Manitoba just makes me a pretty down-to-earth, regular, no big fuss, no big airs kind of a YouTuber, and I like that. I like just having fun with everybody watching, and I thank you for watching, for trying on and commenting on a bunch of makeup for a bunch of different reasons. That's just awesome. And interacting with people on YouTube, which I absolutely love, the picking my makeup kind of stuff. I get a whole kick out of it. So it's just makeup. Let's have fun, basically. Okay, so I have my foundation on, I have my concealer on, I've got my powder on, and the next thing is Steph wants me to use the Becca bronzer. I have a tiny Becca bronzer that looks like this and this, and that is what I'm going to use today, and it's called the Bronzed Bondi. And let's go for number 2. Question number 2 is, why did you want to start a YouTube channel? What are your goals for YouTube? Well, it's really simple. I don't have a ton of goals for YouTube when it comes to makeup. Well, I do. I want to have fun. That's the reason I'm on YouTube. And I want to talk about makeup because nobody else around me is really into it. And it's a lot of fun to share experiences and share the good, the bad, and the ugly of different things that we try, and also sharing ideas and our creativity with each other to make the experience of trying and using makeup just all that much more fun. And frankly, we couldn't really interact quite this way until a dozen years ago. This just wasn't a thing before. And so I'm really thankful that we are in this day and age where we can just have fun with each other, no matter where we're from, and learn from each other as well along the way. It's so much fun. Just grabbing a smaller brush, and I'm going to use the bronzer as contour for my nose as well. It's something I do more so in the summer than in the winter. In the winter, I tend to use more of a sculpting powder, but this is going to work just fine. And I also put a little trick for anybody who has small lips. It's a little bit of bronzer just under the lower lip to give it a bit more definition. Okay, we have the bronzer done. And the next thing that Steph had asked me was to use the Milani Luminoso. That was one of the 2 blushes she was okay with me using, so that's the one I picked. And here is the Milani Luminoso blush, and it looks like this. And it has, if you're just curious about it, it has this pop-up with an applicator that I just would not use. So let me get my blush brush. This is my new blush brush from Smashbox. And so I don't think I had that great of an answer for Steph on my goals for YouTube, but I can answer a little bit more with another channel. I actually have another channel called Free to Pursue, and that one is book reviews. And I love to share the best books that I've read, more on the personal finance side of things and successful living in general. And that is the channel where I guess I have more goals, and I'm going to be doing a lot more work on going forward. So this channel is for fun, and this channel really was to help me learn about video editing to be able to do a better job on the other channel. So if you're curious, I will put a link to that channel right here if you want to check it out. It's not showing up as much as I would like, so I'm going to put just a little bit more. I'm going to put a little bit more. There we go. That shows up more. Gotta make sure Steph's getting bang for her buck here for all the work she's doing on this collab. There you go, Steph. More blush. Okay, hopefully that looks okay and I don't look like a clown. And since we're on the cheeks, I'm going to look at question number 3 and also put on the Becca highlighter that I've chosen today. Question number 3 is, does your family/friends know you have a YouTube channel? If so, what do they think? The highlighter I am using is going to be Champagne Pop. And as you can see, I think, you can still see the lines on it. So there, Steph, I'm using this for the first time on camera. For the first time, period, never mind on camera. Okay, so I've got some on my highlighter brush, and let's go for it. Woo! Okie dokie. Along with the Luminoso, it's got some kick, that's for sure. I have some friends who know. It's only a handful of people who I know are really into makeup or really need to see more on makeup application. And I've had a few people who are friends of mine tell me that they've been, the videos have been useful, which is super, super nice. Hello, Lise, if she's watching. She just talked to me about that last week, and I was a little bit surprised that she'd been watching quite a few videos. So, oh well. You know what? It's more intimidating to know that your friends and family are watching than complete strangers. So it's just the way it is. But yes, a number of people do know that I have a YouTube channel, but it's not something that I parrot left, right, and center. It's more, the other channel is probably one that people know about a little bit more. Okay, I think the champagne pop looks pretty good. You know what? I'm going to use whatever's left right on the bridge of my nose. Okay, let's try this. It might be a catastrophe. And let's go right here too. I think that looks okay. I'm just gonna go with it. The fourth question is, if I were only allowed to wear one makeup category for the rest of my life, what would it be? And what are my opinions on decluttering? You're sneaking two questions in one there, Steph. That's okay. I'll answer both. I'll do the decluttering one first. I'm not a big fan of decluttering if it's just to bring more stuff in. I am a big fan of decluttering in getting rid of expired makeup and also passing on things that you know that are fantastic products, but that for some reason or another you're just not using. And the declutter that I did, I've only done one really, I'll put it right here. It was to get some of these products to the people in my life who I thought could use them, and good quality palettes. There are 3 palettes that I gave away just because I knew I would not use them, but they are very, very good palettes, and I'm very happy to be having them move along. For the other question, the makeup category, oh my goodness, it would have to be eyeshadow. It would absolutely have to be eyeshadow. And with eyeshadow, I'm going to put in, I'm cheating, I'm going to put in the eyeliner and the mascara, the eye look. So a category of makeup would be eye makeup. That is what I would absolutely want to keep. Everything else can go, but the eye makeup to me is the absolute most important part of the whole experience because it's the creativity. I find that the eyes, if you are a creative person, you probably like the makeup application because of what we can do with color. And you can only do so much with your face makeup, which is why I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm applying face makeup, not a big deal, but I'm really excited for the eyes. Let's go to question 5, and then I will start on said eyes. What is one thing you would like your viewers to know about you that you have not already had come up in the past? It can be personal, work, makeup related. One thing. I'm just going to think about that a little bit, and I'm going to go back into the concealer, and I'm going to use that as my eyelid primer because that works just fine. Okay, let's do this. So we're gonna get the eyes primed and then go right into eyeshadow. And I'm going to do my eyebrows last, which is probably driving a few of you crazy that they're not done yet. But that's too bad. Okay. What would I like you to know? Jeez. I don't know if I've talked about this or not, but I've traveled a lot. I have gone to over 20 different countries at this point. And I'm trying to think. The only continents, livable continents, I haven't gone to. I haven't gone to South America. I haven't gone to Australia, and I consider that a very, very different part of the world, but I've been to Asia, I've been to Europe, Africa, obviously North America. I think I've talked about travel once on this channel. So if you would like to hear more about the different trips I've taken, I would be happy to do a Get Ready With Me just talking about various places I've been and why I have been. But as Steph already knows, I have yet to go to Ireland, but I did visit, I've been to the UK though. I have visited Heathrow Airport on my way to somewhere else. Anyway, I know it doesn't count, but at least my feet were on UK soil. Steph has asked me to use the Coloured Raine palette. Actually, she asked me about Coloured Raine and Juvia's Place, but because I got Juvia's Place in the roulette, my collection palette roulette, I thought I would use this one because it's been longer since I've used that palette. And if you're not familiar with Coloured Raine, these are the shadows in Coloured Raine. And Coloured Raine is, the palette is something that Steph asked me to use, but she also suggested I use a Stila glitter. And given she asked me to use a Stila glitter, I thought, because this one is not the punchiest palette from Coloured Raine, the Cheers to the Beauty is brighter. I thought I would use a very blingy, this one is called Diamond Dust, a blingy Stila liquid glitter. So we are going to choose some colors in this palette that are going to go well with this color. So I'm just going to look right now at what might look nice. I think I'm going to go with a purple look. I think that's going to look nice. So maybe I'm going to go with Queen Mother on the outer lid and then see what I use for base. I'm definitely going to use Heir as my powder to set my eye primer or my concealer. So let's do that right now. I have a fluffy brush and we're going to go right into Heir. And luckily there is a mirror on this palette so I can have my head a little higher than I have in part of this video. I'm going to be very liberal with this kind of a light beigey color just to set, like I said, my eye primer. Okay, and I'll do the other side right away. As I'm doing my eyes, let's answer another question from Steph. Is there something you're passionate about aside from makeup? Yes, I'm passionate about a lot of things. I would call myself something called a polymath. I like to learn about very many different things, and I'm going to use Duchess right here. And so I tend to, every 3 or 4 years, go and learn something completely different. So the latest one would be YouTube, and the one right before that would be learning how to do makeup application, because until 2 years ago, I did not know that I could get away with wearing makeup because I've had this tough skin condition for a long time. I'll put that video right here if you want to know more about that. And so once I started playing with makeup and really never really grew up with people who were big on wearing makeup, I felt pretty alone in putting makeup on and having a husband kind of going, okay. And I thought it would be fun to share and to learn how to video edit, and that I could use the video editing to share other stuff that I do that is not related to makeup or anything else that I do necessarily. And that was the book reviews I talked about earlier. So that is definitely one side of things. And so being a polymath, what happens is, I'm going to change my brush. I'm going to use this brush for not only going a bit on the lower lash line with Duchess, but also for going on the outer lid in a minute. But I have a lot of passion, so I really love reading books. I've read, in the past 5 years, I've read over 300 books. So that is something that I'm definitely passionate about. I have been passionate, I'm not so much anymore, but I have been quite passionate about dog rescue. I just had to change brushes again. I'm going to use this one now. It's a smaller crease brush, and I'm going to go into Ladyship right here. My husband and I used to foster greyhounds. We worked with a rescue here in Winnipeg and have had a handful of different dogs over the years, greyhounds and something called lurchers, which means they are a mix of greyhound and something else. So they were a mix of greyhound and coyote hound. And it's been so lovely to have dogs in our home that we knew we were getting ready for their forever home. And we have a lot of very happy people who have appreciated us helping dogs get acclimatized to what it's like to live in a home and not on the racetrack, so that they could be successful adoptees in some new homes. So that's something that we did for quite a while, but we lost our greyhound. She was really the one training the other dogs. We thought it was us, but it was really her. And we lost her just over a year and a half ago, and it left a big hole in our family. And now we have a new dog that I have talked about on this channel called Silhouette, and she is a northern mutt, and I'm very happy to have had the opportunity to bring her in our house because she is a fantastic dog, and as anybody who watches most of my videos would know, she comes and crashes the party here on YouTube on a regular basis, and just wants a little attention, checks out who the heck I'm talking to, because she doesn't see another person. And she's been a lot of fun, and she's way different. She's way shorter than a greyhound. Greyhounds are very high up. She's looks like between a husky and a border collie, really is what she looks like. I'm just going to go back a little bit with this crease brush, a tiny bit, just to put a little bit back. I think that's going to look just right. I've never used this combination, but it's looking all right. Okay, there we go. Now I did talk about this brush, and then I was going to use it again, and I am going to put Ladyship, pack it on pretty good, and then use Queen Mother, right there, Queen Mother on the outer lid afterwards. So let's do Ladyship first. Okay, and I really like Ladyship. I'm going to put it on the lower lash line as well. And for that purpose, I'm going to use this tiny smudger brush from Smashbox as well. I don't want it to go too low. I think this is turning out to look pretty good. So like I said, I'm going to use that Queen Mother on, packing it on right on top of, what is it called, Ladyship. And we're going to answer another question. And for what I'm passionate about, aside from makeup, I could answer a lot more things because I have a lot of interests, but those are the ones that I think make sense to kind of talk about today. So next question, number 7. What, haha, this is a good one. What is your makeup habit pet peeve? Pet peeve. I really have to think about that. It's a tough question, which is probably why I like asking it of other people. You know what? I don't like it when people put mascara on and they go like this. I don't like the open mouth. I don't have an open mouth when I put mascara on. Look at this color. Seriously. Oh, Queen Mother is gorgeous. And I think it's looking good on my eyes. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm just going to go in with it a little bit more, and then we're going to go in with that Stila liquid glitter. And that is making me nervous, which is probably why I'm stalling with Queen Mother. And I'm not happy. Do you see on the inside, I don't really have anything yet, and I'm just worried that the Stila glitter won't go exactly where I want it to, so I'm going to go back in to Duchess and just put some on. Was it Duchess that I want to use? Yes, Duchess. So I'm going to go in with a more precision brush and just add some Duchess. And this is my new favorite brush from Smashbox. It is the multitasking detail brush, and it's like pyramidal. It looks so neat, and it's great for some precision work. There we go. That's making me it's just making me happy. Making me happy. There we go. Just going to go in with another brush here and just go a little bit up toward the brow here because I feel like there's not enough color. Okay, I'm happy with that. And what does crown look like? Whew, okay. I'm going to take that same fluffy brush and I'm going to go into crown, even though it's very, very bright, as is the palette. But I want to have something on the brow bone, and right now there's nothing, so we're going to do this. So that plus the Stila glitter, man, I'm going to be glowing to the gods. Okay, time for some glitter. Here it is again. And as I apply it, I am going to answer another question. Number 9, how do you find trying to balance work, YouTube, family, friends, and you? Balance? You know what? I do what it is that I want to do pretty much when I want to do it. I'm also a kinesiologist, so I'm a personal trainer. So I do that part-time. So I do that part-time, I write part-time, and I do YouTube part-time. We're going in. I'm a little nervous. So my balance is really, I've never put this on before, so this is new to me here. I just really ask myself what it is that I want to do on a given week or day, and I give myself permission to change my mind, assuming somebody's not, gosh, that's gorgeous, assuming somebody's not depending on me for something, because if that's the case, then that changes the rules. But I do try to, I'm going to have to clean that brush off when I finish, because I don't know if you can see, but it's getting the eyeshadow on it. Okay, I think that looks pretty darn good, don't you? Okay, so let's do the other side. Try not to hide my face here. Ooh, that was a lot. Okay, let's spread that around. Okay, is this hair on my face? Is this even? Okay, thank you, Steph. This looks awesome. Thank you for all these requests. Now, one thing that Steph did not ask me to do, I'm going to put a black liner on my upper waterline. I always do that, and I find that it makes the look so much better. It makes the eyelashes look so much fuller. And what I'm going to use is the 24/7 Perversion. So I'm going to do that really, really quickly, and we'll get back to the next steps. I just love the way that looks. Even without mascara, there's just something to putting a black waterproof liner on the upper waterline. Seriously, it just opens up the eye. It just makes the eye way more dramatic, is what I should say. All right, next up, we are going to do liquid liner, and for that I'm going to use my Stila Waterproof Stale Day liquid liner. And this is a deluxe mini, and the tip looks like this. And I stink at doing liner on camera, so just bear with me. So on the issue of balance, my answer might have seemed flippant, But I have to tell you, I am a reformed, crazy workaholic. I had a ridiculous job. It was very, no, that's not the right word. Some people would categorize it as ridiculous. I found it extremely energizing. But a number of people were telling me I was working ridiculous hours. So the norm for myself is I would be at work by 5:30 in the morning. Okay, I need to pay attention here. So I needed to be at work by, well, I made myself go to work by 5:30 in the morning because there was just so much work and I wanted to accomplish so many things. And so I would be there until 4:30 or 5, and often working Sunday mornings, which to many people is blasphemy, obviously. And I use that term loosely. Oh, dear goodness. Can you tell I'm out of practice with wings? I haven't done a dramatic wing in a while. Do they match? I have to go a little bit more on this side. Okay. That's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. I do want to do a liner on the bottom, so let me go into my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil collection, and I will be right back to try to pick something that will enhance the look on the lower lash line. I picked a few options here: Crash, Empire, Psychedelic Sister, and Last Call. Yes, I'm liking Last Call, so that is the one that I'm going to use. And I'm going to put it just on the lower lash line. And waterline, I guess. And I'm not pulling on my, I'm just pushing in. Steph, if you selected a liner for me, I'm really sorry. I did not see one, so this is what I chose. I like the smoky effect of this. I think that looks really good. This is a really evening look, obviously, right? It looks like I'm going to some glamorous event or something, at least when my face will be finished. Steph also asked me to use the Better Than Sex mascara. This is a brand new one for you, Steph. I've never opened this up before. If you've never seen the Better Than Sex mascara, this is the wand. I have used it before. The one that I used most recently was the waterproof version. Let's go for the 10th question that Steph had for me as I get started on my brows. I'm sure that some of you have been screaming in the camera, you haven't done your brows. I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. So number 10 is, if you could give a tip to someone watching who perhaps wanted to set up a YouTube channel, what would it be? And I'm going to get closer here as I do my brows. Tip for someone who wants to start a YouTube channel, what would it be? And let me just tell you, Steph asked me to use the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and it is in medium brown is my color. It's going to be a little bit dark, I think, but we are going to go with it. At least I have pretty eyes while I do my brows. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to talk about anything that I can think of. First off, just start. Just start. Film your first video. And I was waiting to have my proper equipment. I was waiting for blah, blah, blah. Just start. Just start getting used to this thing, the camera, and you'll be much better off. And the other thing that I think that we don't understand as YouTubers or would-be YouTubers is you don't have to be concerned about how big or small your collection is. Don't worry about it. There's way too much to talk about with makeup without worrying about whether or not you have enough of the new makeup releases. Don't. We can all learn from each other. And most importantly, you don't have to have a ton of skill. I sure don't. What you have to have is a passion for something about makeup. And that passion will come through the camera. And so don't try to compete with folks who have, unless you have a huge collection, then yeah, show it off. But you don't have to feel like you have to spend a bunch of money on equipment, on makeup, on all sorts of things to feel like you can be part of the community. Anybody can start a makeup or any kind of other passion YouTube channel. And I think that that's something that I think we let our insecurities guide us in that department, and to our peril, because we end up putting a whole lot of resources to something that for some of us will just end up not being a good fit, and that sucks. I did wait until the after Christmas sales to get my, I have a ring light here, to get my ring light and to get my setup. My camera is from 2014 when I went on an African safari. So that I have not upgraded my camera, and it works just fine, and I will keep it that way until it breaks. Camera, please don't break. But it's a, if you're curious, it's a Canon SX50HS. So something shot, super shot, or I'm not sure. It tells you how much I know about my camera. And just to make friends as quickly as possible. And what I mean by that is not to force it, but if there's a YouTuber that's, and it's easiest if they're about your size, who you think is really cool and you really like their stuff. Oh, I don't know, for me, Steph might be an example. I think it's great to just reach out and say, you know what, whether it's in, you know, they've left a comment, you comment back, or you go to their channel and say, you know, I really like what you're doing. I'm just getting started too, or I'm at this point pretty much with YouTube as well. Would you like to collab? And the process of collabing is so much fun. So if you do have just a burgeoning YouTube channel, look out for those first collabs. They're a lot of fun. You learn a lot, and you learn a lot from each other, because there's going to be stuff that you know that the other person doesn't know, and vice versa. And it's a lot of fun. And it gives you a view into how somebody else might be thinking of YouTube, that in ways that you may not have considered. I'm having trouble with this eyebrow. Talking and doing eyebrows might be a little bit tough. And I have not used the Brow Wiz in a while, so I'm a bit rusty. Maybe this looking out here might help a little bit. My brows are going to be cousins today. They're not going to be sisters. Having trouble. I've been using a brow wax for quite a while. I was panning it, and I just finished it yesterday. Spoiler for my panning projects. Sorry, guys. But You know, it's good to try different products and rotate out, because I think you rediscover them when you get them back into your rotation. Okay, how's this looking? Okay, I'm going to call these done. And I'm going to put some Anastasia Clear Brow Gel on them so that they stop moving. This is the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. This is a mini, it's a deluxe sample. Oh, and one last piece of advice for any YouTuber starting. If you use a Mac, there is iMovie on the Mac is perfectly fine. You don't have to go and invest in major software upgrades or anything. If iMovie is available to you on Mac, just use that. It's been great so far. I've been using it for over a year, and I have close to 500 videos at this point. Really close to 500 videos. So I think that if it's enough for me to do 500 videos, it should get anybody started, really. Oh no, I haven't done my lips yet. Steph said NARS and Buxom. So I don't have very much for each brand, but I do have the NARS Orgasm. I don't think that's going to go all that well with my eye look. And then she talked about Buxom. I have a number of Buxoms, but I think that this color, which is sugar, is going to look the best. So I'm going to put this one on because I think this is just too peachy for the look that I have on today. So I'm going to avoid that. So I'm going to do this. I love these Buxom lip polishes. Now, what is this one officially called? Because there are quite a few different kinds. Yeah, full-on lip polish. And yeah, in sugar. They're great. And you can tell how much of this I have used. I really quite love this one. And I think that I have a finished look. So let's get into that bonus question. Number 11, actually, it's pretty awesome. What a way to finish. I think you would be a great teacher because you are so informative. Have you ever considered it? Well, Steph, I was a university instructor. I taught business courses. So yes, I have been a teacher. So surprise, surprise maybe, but yes, I have been a teacher, an instructor at the university level, and I have also been a public speaker doing a number of seminars and talks on a variety of different topics. If you are curious to see what kind of speaking engagements I've had, I'm going to put the link in the description box below so that you can take a look if you are curious. I have spoken about many different things. So there you go. I have been a teacher. And so you know what? That question not only was fun to answer because I bet you my answer is unexpected, but it's just something that I'm delighted to answer because it's so interesting. There was that coincidence, but it's something that I really, really love to do. And if it's coming across on this channel that is just for pure fun and enjoyment, all the better. I mean, it just makes this even better of an experience for me just for having had that question. So I would say it's a question with a veiled compliment in there. So that's pretty cool. That is it. This is the finished look. The only extra thing I would do is setting spray. So why not do that? I will use the Hangover RX by Too Faced. We're just going to be extra. Here we go. Whew. Going to use my questions to and myself. So there we go, a little bit extra, a lot extra. Thank you so much for your participation today. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much to Steph for first off agreeing to collab and second off being so generous with some wonderful questions. I hope you enjoyed answering yours, Steph, and I look forward to collaborating with Steph again in the future. I would love to direct you again to her video and to her channel. She is an absolute gem. I love her Irish accent. I wonder what she thinks of my Canadian accent. I'll leave it at that and we'll stop rambling. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. But for now, take care.